Okay, 7:30. Let's get started. And today is the last class that we are meeting before the final on this Wednesday. I hope everyone knows the time, has got the time. It's from, I believe, is it 7:45? Let me check. Yeah, official time is 7:45, but your Canvas, this online exam will be available on 7:35 p.m., 10 minutes early. So make sure you have the information for dial-in Zoom in case you have doubt and you need to ask me any question on the final exam. During the exam time, you can actually dial in. You don't need to log into that Zoom session and keep yourself logged in. If you have just question, dial in, connect and ask me the question. I'll be available in that special Zoom session. Please make sure you have all the information that is given in that final exam review topic discussion page. Okay. So we have a couple of, some more joining in tonight. Is there any specific question or anything that you want me to discuss? I see Catherine said, can you go over the data hazard and solution strategies and branch prediction? Yeah, definitely we can go and review that topic, those slides. And Frank says, if nothing there, can we go over the problems, practice finals? Maybe you want to tell me any specific one, or I can choose one or two I can show you.
I had a question about the practice file. For the answers, we're not allowed to see them after it's finished, right? So it's locked for after you're done.
Can I practice one you can see, I think, only once after you're done. You can see the answer once.
Yeah. Is it okay if that's unlocked, or is there some problem with that?
Is that one? Sorry, I couldn't get your question.
Is it okay if you unlock that so we can see our answers more than just once, or is there some problem that comes with that?
I have set up like that. Let me think. Yeah, may not be. It may not be. But if I decide tonight, then I'll open up. Otherwise, I will keep it locked. Okay. So any other questions? Not so far. Okay. So let me address Catherine's concern there about the data hazard and everything. Branch prediction. Let's review that slides a little bit. So this data hazard, let's try to understand what is this. Let's say we have two instructions, right? Two instructions, and we have the dependency between them, right? In this case, it is basically your first instruction and generating a result into R1 register, which is being consumed in the second instruction. And let's assume they are in pipeline execution, like back to back, one after another. In this case, your first instruction is producing result at this time point, right? At this time point. After the ALU is done, phase, at this time point, the result is being created. And the result is consumed at this point. Now, what is meant by that consumed? Means you have like you are getting the operands for this sub instruction from the R1, which is stored inside your register, and you are accessing them on the through the instruction, sorry, register fetch, instruction decode register fetch. That state you are accessing the register file and grab the R1. But look, at that point, you're produced first, the one it is produced at this point, it's not yet committed onto the register file. It will be done at the 6th nanosecond. But R1 being read from the register file during this time, right? Between 3rd and 4th nanosecond. After 3rd nanosecond, it is being read. So obviously, at this point, it is reading from an older value of R1, which is not intended for that program. Okay. Now, that's the problem. That is the data hazard. The one solution is, of course, you make this whole statement start executing maybe at from this point, right? We shift it. We call it a bubbling. We shift that one. But more sophisticated one would be to forward the data that generated in the previous stage and put into the next stage execution, consuming to the next stage execution, because the result is already produced. It is just that it is not being written back into the register file. So in that case, in that way, it basically goes and do that data forwarding to resolve that data hazard problem. So now from there, we can have multiple such issues, like one interdependency between another, one statement to another. So we can still do the data forward, etc. Only data forward and the data hazard will not happen only if for that specific instruction, your operand can be read from the register file reliably. Means if the R1 being produced at this point, okay, and some instruction is accessing maybe your IDRF at this point, that is means after the write back is done for this instruction, only then you don't have a data hazard situation, because at that point, if I am reading the register right from there, we are basically grabbing the value, intended value that operation did at this instruction. Okay, so that's the data hazard, and we do a lot of forwarding. We can do there are these instruction reordering, as long as that does not cause any program outcome issue. Means that as long as they are equivalent, even after alteration of the code sequence, if they are equivalent programs, then we can do it. And of course, sometimes we don't have any other choice but stall that instruction, but we target to like make it minimum as possible. So we have a couple of examples there. If you have any specific question, let me know for these examples, how that forwarding and stall did work for us in that case. And you'll see in this first example, you'll see that we have a couple of stalls there, along with the forwarding to resolve everything. But with the reordering, if it's same program, we reordered the statements, like we push back the 3 and bring the 5 upwards, then we actually was able to resolve the whole hazard situation with just a forward without any stall. Question?
You
Yes.
mentioned that there are like some cases where uh we we have to like stall and forward. What's like such cases?
Stall and forward.
Yeah.
For example, let's think some situation like that. Uh, so in this case, we could reach, in this case, we could reach a point, reach an instruction like this one, which is kind of pretty much independent of the previous instruction. That's why we could swap this one, right? But assume it's not like that. Assume this is simply something like add, like, okay, let me just have a text there. There's something like add I R4, maybe R6, 10, something completely, like, okay, no, not that. Maybe R1. Let's put a dependency there. R1, 1, right? In that case, you see, you cannot really, maybe, yeah, I should make it R3, this example. That's R3, right? So in that case, you really cannot like move this guy, this fifth statement, before the add R3, right? And since we cannot move it, we cannot alter that. We definitely need to have a stall there, right? Catherine, do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now about that branch instruction, where the hazard is coming up, that pipeline need to like do something, right? Without like, understand there is no stall. We should not stall a pipeline as long as possible unless it is unavoidable. So in case of BNE, at this point, once this start executing in the pipeline, what is the next instruction? That's the question. Next instruction has two choices. Either from here, it will go back in the loop. So that means my next instruction will be this one. Or it can go out of the loop and this becomes my next instruction. And we don't know upfront till we are done with that comparison at the exe phase. We don't know which instruction to go for. And that's the origin of the control hazard. How it goes, it basically, we can, one solution, we can bubble it, we can stall the pipeline till we know, I think we need to do it two, not one bubble, we need to do 2 cycle bubbles here to make sure that we know the answer, and then depending on that answer, we fetch either this or that. We know what the branch prediction is going to do. But if we don't want to do that, how about we just predict something? In this case, we basically predicted like we'll go forward, we'll pick up the next one, predicting that it is not taking the branch, it will fall through, and we started executing them. And in that scenario, we have a situation like uh, we have to like go and undo that. Uh, why? Because after these two line, once this ex is done, that the next phase we know that well it is basically the other alternative add I. So that means we need to patch out these two these two instructions from the pipeline and carry forward with this add R1, which is this instruction, which is we carry forward with this instruction, right? That's the one situation. And the other situation would be like, we are correct, so okay, we don't have a penalty, and we can go forward with the instruction itself, like this came out, there is branch position is right, we are okay, there is no stall, and we just continue with the pipeline operation there. Catherine, is that make sense?
Wait, can you repeat again one more time? Like, what happens if the prediction is wrong?
Then we need to purge these two instructions, whatever they're in the wrongly in the pipeline, we need to just purge it out and start afresh with the next valid instruction.
Oh, okay. So that means for BNE, we always want to predict it's not taken, or is it just like an example?
It's basically an example, like, and the processor either can go with a fixed prediction, either always predict taken or predict untaken, not taken. And depending on the application program it's running, either it can negatively affect or positively affect. Like, let's say your prediction is wrong every time, then of course you are suffering your pipeline, you are stalling every now and then your pipeline. But your prediction is right, then you are avoiding that stall. So your performance is better. So it really depends on what type of program you are executing on the processor, and depending on that, your fixed prediction actually values keeps values. So it is more like a statistical analysis of, you look at the sample representative programs on your platform and analyze that, hey, which type of prediction will possibly give you best or optimal performance in the market when it actually runs the real program. But you need to do the statistical analysis up front with the representative benchmark, representative statistics, and so on and so forth. And some processor goes with this probabilistic prediction model. This is one of the simplest model I have shown here. There are many other complex models like that, which basically, depending on the nature of your program you are actually executing, it try to predict more accurately, okay, next branching, it will probably like an 80% chance it will not be taken, or it is 75% chance it will be taken, something like that. It try to do some inner calculation and make that choice.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I have one from Mary Marcotte. Says that question 5 from quiz 4. By the way, I have made the quiz answer available to you for your study, except for the latest one. I am waiting for one student to complete that quiz so that I can open that up for all you. So just maybe by tomorrow, I'll open the final quiz answers. Can someone go and check if you can available those answers? I have made it available from this afternoon, I believe. Okay, now quiz 4. Quiz 4. Oh, quiz 4. Quiz 4. Question 5. Which is the last one, right? Okay, since there are some pending student work on this, let me not discuss this answer. Okay, Mary, just watch out for tomorrow to open up that explanation. I hope that would be good for you. Okay. All right. Now, let me see. Maybe we can do one or two problem and see what's going on. So let's pick up. Why don't we pick up this problem? Okay, so this one. So it's considering a program which takes, which has like runs on 2 gigahertz machine, and that program runs 2 gigahertz machine M 30 seconds. Now optimization is done on the P and replacing all instances rise to the power 4, like x to the power 4, with a 3 instructions. Like one instruction is replaced with 3 instruction of multiplying x to x, right? So now let's call this new optimizer P bar, and the CPI of multiplication is 2 and CPI of power is 4. There are, this is actually, let me see, this is 10 to the power 9 such operation. This is 10 to the power 9. Okay, this is I2 to the power. Okay, this is 10 to the power 9 such operations optimized, means 10 to the power 9 raise operation was replaced with 3 into 10 to the power 9 multiplication operation. What is the performance gain? So this is a problem you need to solve. Just take 5 minutes to digest this problem and see what you can do, and then we'll come back to solve this problem together. Okay, let's try to solve this problem and see if it matches your thinking. So there are, let's assume the P has like two part of the program, right? One is, it is number of, there are like rest of the program, like let's assume K equals, let's say K equal to number of instructions other than that x to the power, or other than raise to the power, that function, okay, that instruction. And there are, let's say, K number of, there are X number of raise to the power instruction. So this means total number of instruction in the P, total instruction in P is K plus X, right? And then, actually, let me use the term N here. X is more like unknown, okay. K plus N. That means total instruction in P bar, the modified program, is K. Remember, every N, every raised to the power has been replaced with 3 multiplication, so it will be 3N instruction. All right. Now also assume this CPI of these K instructions is, let's say, I don't know, X. Okay. Now this power instruction, CPI of power instruction of this instruction is given is a 12. Remember, this is 12. So from the question. So this guy means total number of cycle is K multiplied by X plus N multiplied by 12, right? Now for this case, the next one, the P bar, my total number of cycles is K multiplied by X, which will remain the same as the previous, plus now I have 3N multiplied by, where is that? Multiplication is 2, right? CPI of multiplication is 2. That means it is multiplied by 2. So this is like, you can say this is Kx plus 12N. This one is Kx plus 6N. That means P bar will take Kx plus 12N minus Kx plus 6N equals 6N less number of cycles, right? So what does it mean? This many cycles, so N, by the way, is given as 10 to the power 9 such operation was optimized, right? So N equals, where N is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 given in the problem, And we know the machine is 2 gigahertz, right? So let's compute that as well. Time period. So per cycle, the time period is 1 by 2 gigahertz is about like frequency, etc. Okay, which is like 1 by 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 9. Yeah, 10 to the power 9. This much second, whatever that is. Now it means 6n less number of cycle. This implies time saving in P bar is 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 9 divided by 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 9 second, which is 3 seconds, right? Now the original runtime was given 30 seconds. New runtime is 30 minus 3 equals 27 seconds. Hence, performance improvement is 30 by 27, which is about 1.11 x, which is like 11%. What do you think? Is that what you got? Is that the approach is okay? You agree with that? Kusha, 10 to the power minus 9. Which one is that? Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is. Sorry, I need to put the brace in. 1 by this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, this is also. Let's make sure we put the braces in the right place. Otherwise, it may change the meaning. Yeah. Like this. Okay. Now, before I give you the next problem, why don't I just share something with you? After this class, there will be one closing remark. Please watch out this video, but that's not the important. Important is this part. Like I want to share the class statistics and grade so far. This is the grade distribution for this class without the project fee and without the bonus point. Okay, and it says that at least almost 50%, like half of the class, 49%, is better than A minus or better. Okay, A minus or better. There are about 11% student. I believe with the bonus point, it may come down to 10%, which is okay. Like it's the kind of an, I have seen 8 to 10% failure in this specific course in my class. So that's at par. It is not out of ordinary. And I believe half of this failed grade student has probably given up or applied for the grade withdrawal, something like that. So that means this is a good statistics to do with. You are doing very good in this class, in this course as a class. Keep up the good work and good luck on your final exam. And of course, we are still grading your project 3, and I hope you'll get similar marks what you got in the project 2 if you put the same amount of effort there. All right, one more point, Solid. Let's see where we stand for this class. CS47, we have done 87% response. That means as of now, you got 8.7 out of 10 in that bonus point. Okay, so let's say it's closing in 1 day. So let's hope it will go up until like 95% or so. So that you know what the calculation is there. Okay. Now the next problem is not this one. This is the older class. Maybe let's do this problem.
Hey, Professor Pacha.
Yes, Mr. Friend.
Ange just raised a great point in the Discord, and I just wanted to bring it up before we moved on from that topic. What about the people who did give up, as you said, who like really aren't in the class anymore? Are they being counted for the SOTE points?
Let's see. It means you are worried about the Solet review points?
Yeah, like what about the people who, like you've said, have given up? Are they being counted there?
I haven't decided that yet, so let's see where it goes.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, I need to look at all the statistics and then decide. But anyway, let's look at this problem. And let's forget about the points there. It doesn't matter here. So this problem is saying that a processor using 32-bit virtual machine, virtual memory address space with 1 megabyte page size. This system uses 32-bit word addressable primary physical memory with 64 million of words. That means its total capacity is 256 megabytes, just in terms of megabyte. But each address points to a word complete, okay? And this system also uses a direct mapping, write back cache, direct map. So, and it needs 2 control bits in total with 1K cache line. So let's assume this is 1024 cache lines and a block size of 256 words with the assumption of word level granularity. That means each index, block index, is actually pointing to a word. You cannot just retrieve one single byte out of that block. Just each block index is pointing to a word. So there are these 256 word size of the block. Then we need to do the size of the memory space, a program running into the system that I can address. What is the number of entries in the page table? What is the total size of the cache memory in byte unit? And if the virtual page number is something, map to the physical page number this, determine the block index, cache line index, and tag value for this address. So let me give you 5 minutes from now to digest this problem, and we'll be back in another 5 minutes. Okay, let's see how to solve this problem now. So, number A is very easy, right? It's basically you have 32-bit virtual memory address, entire space is available to you. So it is, you're talking about byte addressable 2 to the power 32 bytes of memory, which is basically 4 gigabytes. So that's easy. Now, second part is also easy. You are given you have this entire 4 gigabyte of memory. So number of page entries is this 4 gigabyte by the page size 1 megabyte. So it is 2 to the power 32 by 2 to the power 20. That means 2 to the power 12 units, which is about 4K, 4096, right? 4K is 1K is 1024, 4K is 4 multiplied by 24 is 96, 1096. Sorry, 4096. So 4096 entries in the page table. The third one, your physical memory address, you need to be careful about that one. It's a word addressable memory. That means each address points to a word and its stores is 64 meg words. Okay, so that means it somewhat actually took out the complexity from the problem, because if it was given that word addressable with 256 megabyte capacity, then you need to do some transformation. But here it is straightforward. It is saying that it is 6 meg words. That means there is the available address indexes are 64 meg, right? 64 M. So number of bits needed to address the physical memory is log base 2 of 64M, which is log base 2 of 64. 64 is 2 to the power 6 multiplied by meg is 2 to the power 20. That means it is log base 2 of that becomes 26. So number of bits in the physical address is 26. So this gives this information that block size, look at the block size. Block size is 256 words, and also is the word level granularity. That means there are 256 entries in the blocks, and each of them is a complete word, which gives us number of bits needed for block index or offset, whatever you want to call it. It's basically log base 2 of 256, that many words, which is like 8, right? It's 2 to the power 8 is 256, and then the cache there, it's given that number of cache line is 1 kilo, like 1024. So that means number of bits in cache for cache line index is equal log base 2 of 1K log base 2 of 1024, which is 10, like 2 to the power 10 is 1024. That means number of tag bits, for tag is your address bit 26 minus cache line index minus block index, which is 18. 26 minus 18, it's 8 bit. Okay. Now with this, Remember the cache, the hold as a device. This is saying that what is the size of the cache memory. It is not asking the how much storage, how much memory is stored in the cache. Okay, there is difference. So cache memory as a device size has two parts. One is that how much it's stored, along with its maintenance bits like a tag bit and the control bit, etc. So we know that from the data perspective, it stores 1024 cache line. Each cache line has 256 word because block size is 256 word. That means this cache stores 1024 line multiplied by 256 words, which means 4 bytes, right? So this is bytes. So if we calculate that, that becomes in terms of bytes, this is 1024 multiplied by 1024, which comes about, if I use calculator, then 104 8576. 8576 bytes. Okay. Now it has the other control and tag bits. So how many are there? There are 8 tag bits we just calculated. And in the problem, it is given there are 2 control bits. So total 10 bits are there in 1024 lines. So total storage for control and tag bits is 1024 multiplied by 10 bits. And bits equals 10240 bits. If we divide it by 8, I believe it becomes 1280 bytes. That means the total size of the cache device is 104 8576 8576 plus 1280 bytes, and that's what the target unit is as per problem says. So we add them up, it becomes 1049856 856 bytes. Okay, the last one, not the least, but the last one is we have been given a virtual address, right? So B virtual address. This is my virtual address. B75G3A54. Let's blow it up in binaries. B is 11, which is 1011. 7 is 0111. 5 is 0101. D 13, right? 1101. 3 0011. A is 10, which is 1010. 5 is 0101. And 4 is 0100. So let's blow it up into 32-bit patterns. And now let's compute what we need. Page index, number of index bits in page, number of bits in page index or offset, whatever term you want to use, is log base 2 of 1 meg. Why? Because the 1 MB page size, right? 1 MB page size. So that is 1 meg, and which is 20, straightforward. That means the page number of bits in page number is 32 minus 20 is equals to 12. That means this is my page number, and this is my page index with it, right? So this is my page number. Okay. So that means my page number in this case, number is remove it. Okay. Let me just put a separator there. So this, I'm just putting a separator or pipe there. Okay. So this part is your page number, which is nothing but your 5, which is like 5 B75. Page number is B75. B75. Now, which is mapped given the problem, which is mapped into,
Professor?
Yes.
Is there also a word granularity for the virtual memory, since it's like one megabyte? So that would mean like 2 to the 18 words per page. And if it's 2 to the 18 words per page, that means there's 18 bits for which you can do the offset for, right? Like if we're considering the words instead of the individual bytes, it would be 2 to the 18 words per page.
Right, but since the word the granularity level is not explicitly specified for the pages and virtual access, we can safely assume it is byte. We can access a byte per index.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, so this is mapped to 3A, right? That means my physical address, if you look at the bit pattern, we just blow up 30011, and A is 1010, and then followed by this guy, this other 20, right? But in this case, it is 28, right? But our address is 26, so that means this part is your address bits. Okay, this is the 3A, but it is 26 bit. What I mean, okay, it is a 26 bit. So, so my address, this is like 0 cross 3A, followed by D3A54, D3A54, D3A54. Okay, now if there is a physical address, so my physical address, 26 bits in physical address is this. Okay, now what we do, we basically now separate them out into tag, cache index, and block index. So let's see. My block index was 8 bits. So this is going to be my block index, followed by 10 bits of the cache line index, which is till this, and rest of the bits will be 8-bit tag. So that means my tag equals 0 cross. Now we make out the tag, which is 8 10, 11, which is B there, and I see 8, 12, 8 plus 4, 12, plus 2, 14, which is E, right? So, no, wait a minute. What am I doing? 3A. Am I correct? Yeah, I think so. This is 8 plus 4 plus, sorry, 8 plus 4 plus 2, which is 14, which is E. And then this one is 8 plus 2 plus 1, which is 11, B. Okay. My cache index, CI, is that 10 bit, which is 1, followed by 3, followed by A, and my block index, BI, is that 8 bit, which is
Professor?
yes.
Does this physical address represent a word or a byte? Like, since the cache has blocks that are word accessible, but the virtual address has pages that are byte accessible, like like the pages, the individual bytes in their account. But here for the cache, the individual, like for each block, a word is counted. So how does that affect the physical address?
So physical address is reference on how the data is retrieved, right? In the physical sense, this cache is giving processor back the complete word, and within that word, each of the byte is associated with one of the address in the virtual area, the virtual memory addresses. So there is no direct relation as such in that sense.
Oh, okay.
So your cache system is still returning a complete word, 32 bit. It's in the processor interpretation. Now, if it wants to pick up one single byte out of that complete word, it will go and pick up the corresponding byte and construct the data back.
All right.
Okay.
Um,
Yes.
For this question, how would these calculations change if the memory is like double word granularity?
Physical memory?
I believe so. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, the physical memory double word granularity means each address is actually storing a double word. That means we have, if it is a 64 meg word size, we are having 32 meg double word. That means we have 32 meg addresses. That means number of like bits, address bits would be 32 meg, log base 2 of 32 meg, which is like 25 bits, right? And in that case, we need to pick up 25 bits out of the physical memory construction. And in that case, by the way, your map won't have a 3A entry, but it will be something like A or B up till that point. Because you or 0 or 1A or something like that, because it cannot further host the 3A mapping there, because it's simply out of range for that memory address.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So I think . Okay. All right. So question so far, we're good.
Professor, can
Yeah.
you go over again how to convert, let's say from a different problem, how to convert a virtual address to a physical address? I'm still kind of iffy on that.
So in the virtual address, what you need to do is basically look at this, how many pages bits go for the page index and how many for the page number. So this part is your page index, which is depending on the page size, and rest of them become page number, number of bits for the page number. Then you construct this page number, look at the mapping, and make the physical address out of it. And then pick up the physical address, like this, in this case, it was like 26 bit, and then divide them into block index, cache line index, and tags out of it. So that's the general strategy.
Okay,
so you need to, yeah. So basically, you need to able to construct back these three quantities from the given problem, and this. So this is the most important part of this whole problem, that how do you infer how many bits you need for each of this feet.
Professor, so
Yeah.
I know you explained like if it was double word, but like just like how you said like the address would get cut off if it was double word. If it
Yeah.
was byte addressable, would it, like, how would that work?
This one 64 megabytes, or let's say 256 megabytes, right? So it will have log base 2 of 256. Oh, wait a minute. 64 word. Okay, so let's say 256 megabyte. So it will have 256 here of meg, which is 256 mean it is 68. So this will be 28 bit in that case, right? And then this becomes 28 bit in that case, 256 to the power 8, yes, 28 bit. And in that case, your tag become like 2 more bits. This is 28 bit. This is 10. Yeah, this is 2 more. This becomes 10 bit. So that means it will affect this guy as well, that calculation. And then what else? Your tag, and then definitely you need to consider here as well the number of physical address in 28. Hey, by the way, did I make a mistake here? How many bits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 20, 24. This is 28. Oh, this is fine. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, this is 25. This is 28 bit total. But Anjali, that makes sense. You see what's been going on here, there?
Yeah, I think I kind of understand the connection now. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we are almost out of time, and we have this. And remember, we have this final, this Wednesday from 7:35. It will open up. It will available till 10:05. You need to submit by that time. And please note that calling number on the Zoom session, so that if you have any doubt, just you can call me and ask me in that call. What else? Good luck, everybody, and I hope you will enjoy your winter break after the final. Is there any more question?
When you say, sorry, go on.
Yeah.
You go first.
Okay. When you say it's available from 7:35 to 10:05, do you mean that full time, or do you mean it's
It's still
like-
135 minutes. It's still 145 minutes depending on where you are starting.
Okay.
It is not that whole full minute.
Okay.
But I have this buffer time before and after, 10 minutes before and after the submission time because of the technical issues that you need to resolve within that time and so on and so forth. But you still have 130 to 5 minutes once you start.
Professor?
So that means, by the way, just a note, like that means if you start at like 8:30, you don't have 135 minutes. It will be submitted on 10:05 anyway.
Oh,
So make sure you go early, come early.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hey, Professor?
Yeah.
I just want to make this 100%. I just want to be 100% sure. In the, we're allowed to use 2 separate sheets of paper for our cheat sheet this time, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Great. Awesome. Thank you.
one more question. So for the last exam, I printed the CS147 DB instruction set. Can we do that again, or should we just use the one built in?
Yeah, you can do that if you need. But I usually give that information on the question. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Professor?
Yes.
On the Jamboard, could you go back to the problem from the previous lecture? Like on the virtual memory, you had like a word problem. We did a word problem on the Jamboard like a lecture ago on last Wednesday.
Which date?
The day before today. It's the one about the virtual memory on the Jamboard.
Okay. So talking about this one?
Yeah, this one. So for the page service time, why do you multiply it by 0.25? Are you saying that like only when the table, like the cache table for the pages, only when it's not available in that cache, then and after it's retrieved from the lower memories to the cache, if that section of that table has like an invalid, then it's
no, Kevin, it is related to the TLB. Okay. So TLB is basically giving you the mapping entry between the virtual page number to the physical page number. And it is like out of 1 million, 25% time of its miss, right? And when it miss, then only it goes to the real page table lookup in the main memory. So if, and during the of that many, that means 1 million, 25% of 1 million, there is 0.1%, 0.01% chance that we need to have a page service out of those lookup. So that's why it is like you are this many time you are looking at the page table, and out of this many time 0.01% needs a page service.
so in the case where the TLB is not a miss, it's not possible for a page service to happen. So if on the TLB that page is present, is there any way that page can be faulty or like not valid when the TLB is a hit?
So basically, when we are giving these numbers, right, these penalty numbers and these numbers, right, statistically, all these situations are already taken care of. So it is purely like how much fault it is there. Remember, like we're not even adding up TLB access time during this calculation because those are already part of these statistics. statistical quantity.
Oh. So it's built. So like that case is also built into those times already.
Right, right. So if the point is that if it is not a TLB miss, that means those pages are already in the primary memory. We don't need page service for them.
Oh, okay.
Right. So if it is a miss, let's say that case, it will come here. Then it sees it is not in the primary memory. Then page service will happen. And only after that, that TLB will go back into the TLB section of the cache memory. And that means the entries done at the TLB is kind of guaranteed that it is not going to have a page service if it is not a miss. If it is a hit, its page is there already.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right then, everybody. Good luck again on your final exam, and have a great winter break.
You too.
And
Thank you,
good luck in
Professor.
your future life.
Thank you.
Thanks, Professor.
You
Thank
as
you.
well.
All right.
It's been an honor.